Hello and a very good evening to all. I, Dr. Javid Parray, Assistant Professor in the Department of Higher Education, Government of Jammu and Kashmir. Today, we will try to enhance our knowledge, our vision towards the book writing. My talk would be on how to write a book. At the outset, it seems a gigantic task for all of us, as there comes a lot of questions in our mind that how can we do this? Why do I begin and when do I finish it? And how long should my chapters be? And how many chapters should I have? These are all the questions that will come into your mind when you are thinking about how to write a book. But before we get started, let's make sure you have the required foundation to get started on writing a chapter. Why I'm saying the chapter? Because chapters are the building blocks of a book. Think of your book like a TV show, as we know all. There are a lot of episodes, and each episode follows the one earlier one. Most hit shows develop a general theme for the season, so each episode progressively builds up to a grand finale. The same goes here for writing books. You brainstorm ideas, figure out the theme for your book, and structure it by chapters, so it all fits together nicely. Your book is a general theme, and each chapter should build up to a big picture. Then, what is a chapter? You should know it. Before writing a book, you should know what the chapter is. Basically, a chapter is defined as a section or a division of a book with a chapter number or a title. Then chapters break the overall book topics into sections. Why we write the chapters in a book? Because it allows the authors to break up the work and for the reader to digest the materials in chunks or increments that are both understandable and memorable too. Then the question, how long should my chapter be? The short answer is it really depends upon your topic, what you want to write, what the theme is. Then how many words are in a book chapter? The average number, as per the standard formats, as per the different publishing hubs, the average number of words in a book ranges from 25 to 60,000. And the chapters vary from 6 to 20. Depends on whether you're authoring the book or you're editing the book. In an authored book, you write the chapters of your own. Then the number may be small, less, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10. But when you are editing the book, the number of the chapters would simultaneously go up. How many chapters should I write? Again, this is up to you. You can write as many as I have earlier told. Your book is your baby and you make the final decision. We don't have to stuck on this. How many chapters? Depends upon the theme, depends upon the topic, depends upon the area where you are working on. But for the chapter, we need to create an outline. The best way to brainstorm ideas and create an outline for your chapter or a book is through mind mapping. And what is a mind map? Mind map is actually you brainstorm and unload all your ideas on a paper. You write down on all your paper, you write down the title, you write down the content, you write down the theme of your book on the paper, then study it. And the basic structure of the chapter are a title or a headline, as we know, then the introduction, then the body paragraphs, different paragraphs, and in the end, there is a recap or a summary of the chapter. Then you just have to mention some line, some transition that will link your first chapter to the next one. So it was all the basic introduction, how we should be prepared to write a book, what its chapter is, how long it should be. But since there are the number of the numerous publishing hubs available across the globe, more than hundreds of publishing hubs are available where you can send your material, they will publish it. But among all these, the publishing hubs, what usually comes into our mind is whether it's a Wiley, or it's a Springer, or it's a Elsevier, or it's a Taylor and Francis. So these are the major publishing hubs available with us. And everyone wants that our paper or our book should be publishing with these hubs. So we don't have to worry about it. We just have to be focused on what we want. This is actually the basic book publishing process. Since whether we belong to the different fields, whether we belong to the science, whether we belong to the humanities, whether we belong to the arts, or any other relevant subjects, where we want to publish a book, we want to write a book. And there are numerous steps. Actually, it's a process that begins with the stage 1 to the stage 5th, 6th, and on. It starts with the book proposal. Since book proposal is the heart of any book, when you draft your idea, when you prepare your plan, then your plan should be very much solid and focused. Then you draft a proposal. Then after the proposal, you have to submit it. Then it's your choice where you're going to submit it. You're going to submit it in any of the publishing house. Then you have to search engine. You have to see where you are going to publish it. Then after submission of proposal, when proposal is accepted, then you start preparing the manuscript. Then you start preparing your book. Then another step is how you actually submit then your book. And in the end, there is a production and the promotion of your book. And in the coming slides, we will discuss how this process, how it becomes easier and easier for us to learn that how we can be able to publish the book. And I hope you will be very much acquainted with this. I say because a proposal is a starter, and not only the starter, it forms the core of your publishing work. The proposal gives a key information to get the process started, just like an igniter. You start in a machine, there needs a spark, and your book spark here is the proposal. And to make sure you give them everything they need, because for a publishing house, they need everything. They want you to respond to everything they require. But our main piece of advice is to think about the 4 basic phenomena. That is the who, the what, the why, and the how. The first is the who. You say who. The who means that who will be writing the book. Your name, your position and affiliation, your CV that includes your bios, or if there are any other co-authors or co-editors. Co-authors or co-editors. I would like to here mention that there are 2 types of the books which we publish. That is one which we author. The authored book in which authors write the whole chapters by themselves. There may be a single author or multiple authors. But in case of the edited book, we actually receive the chapters from the various authors or the contributors, then we edit them and submit to the publishing hub. Then the what we are writing. What we are writing. Type of publication. What type of publication you are writing? What audience are you waiting for? Will this be a reference book or a textbook? This is an important. If there's a reference book, then you should prepare it as like, or whether it's a textbook, you should think first what you are writing. Then overview of the book. This is where you explain the publication's objective and what it will be about. What is
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, excuse me, please. We are not able to see your current slide, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now you are, is it visible now?
Your slide is visible, but not current slide.
Okay.
You are on the third slide now.
Which, is it visible now?
Yeah, slide is visible, sir, but you are on the opening slide.
Okay. Opening slide.
You are on opening slide now.
Okay, okay. Actually,
yeah. Now, okay.
Yeah, it's actually the hyperlink. It may be, there may be with it.
Okay, okay. It is hyperlink. Okay.
Then what is your vision? How will this book benefit the academic community you work in? This is an important. Then why would someone buy this book? They will ask you. The publishing hub will ask you how your selection of topics or treatment of the subject will encourage readers to buy the publications. And further, how will it make a difference? Explain the needs in your discipline and the challenges you are trying to address. After that, you need to include the table of contents. What the table of contents are. This will include your chapters or subdivisions within the chapter, plus any special materials to be included in the appendices or in the supplementary material. But if you're proposing a reference book, please, you have to include the detail about the frequency of any planned updates, because in a reference book where we have to update the recent events as well. Then another part is why we are writing the book. Why we are writing the book? We are writing the book, who is this for? So that we can consider how best to position your book. It would be great to know a little about the market need, because any publishing house publishes your book for the market. They should get benefit. They should get the benefit. There are the commercials available with the book publishing. So they will first go to the market, whether there's a need, whether desire of this book, this topic in the market. And who needs your book? You have to indicate the audience for this material, like academic, whether it's included, whether it's required for the academic ones, research ones, graduates, professions. If the book is aimed at the graduate student, please, you have to indicate it as a primary or supplementary text as well. Then the last one is the how. How you are planning to structure the manuscript. That I have first mentioned it, that how many words do you anticipate to fully cover your topic? How many pages of appendices? You have to be a very much professional, you have to be very much a committed one, that you are planning to write a manuscript. When you are completing the manuscript, when you are submitting to the project editor, when you are responding to the commissioning editor, when you are responding to the any permissions, correspondence, this all you have to take care with. Then once your proposal is ready, then comes to the another part is proposal submission. Once you have compiled your proposal, we have to send it to the contact for your general area. The publishing house has actually the areas like Asia, South Asia, Southwest Asia, Europe, different regions they have covered. There are different commissioning editors for each area. And once you submit your proposal to the commissioning editor in the specialist subject area, then commissioning editors take various factors into account when making their decision. One, your market research, whether there's a market for the book, which I earlier mentioned, cost analysis, whether it makes any financial sense to publish it. Once it is decided now that your proposal is accepted, the commissioning editor will offer a contract to you. Then in the contract, that will define the publication, how and when it will be delivered, outline yours and publishers' responsibilities, writers, the remuneration as well. But we should take some points into consideration while signing the contract. In a contract, the main issue is regarding the remuneration, one. Regarding second one is regarding the third-party copyright material, where you are obtaining it from either the books, journals, or any other website sources. So while in case of you are an editor, you will need to ensure that your contributors understand its requirements of these guidelines. But when you are the whole solo author, you have to do it of your own. But in case of the editor, you have to let your contributors understand that any material you borrow it from any source, you have to take permission from them. Otherwise, you have to pay any fee that's required or that's nominal. Once you have signed the contract, it's time to get your work on your manuscript. Now your book proposal has been accepted. You are ready to move on to the next step in your journey, that is preparing in your manuscript. Once you have signed and returned your contract to your commissioning editor, your project editor will send you a full set of guidelines. Now the role of commissioning editor is over. Here is the role of project editor. Now you have to deal with this project editor up to your production, up to your publishing of the book. He will send you to all the details, guidelines on time frame and expectation of the project. And you have to make it sure that you be in touch with your project editor and ask questions if anything is at all unclear. Now, how you can prepare your manuscript, how you can prepare your chapter. Point is that there are guidelines for each and separate guidelines, separate instructions for authors, editors. Each publishing hub has their own set of criteria for writing their manuscripts, and the project editor will send you all the details for that. Once you have completed the manuscript, you can submit it via online portal or directly to the project editor. Normally, in case of the Elsevier, we submit it via online portal, but in the rest of the publishing hubs, we send it directly to the project editor. Now, congratulations that your manuscript has been accepted. And then you submit your manuscript. Submitting your manuscript is a culmination of all the work that is and huge step towards having the published book in your hands. You should submit your all the manuscript or any other supporting material in the electronic format. And you should take care of the lot of things, like if there are special characters, equations, or precise formats which they want from you. And project editor will timely will let you know regarding these all other steps that they require from you. But before the submission of the manuscript, you have to check, you have to frame the checklist and make ensure that all the things you are preparing, you are sending the manuscript to the, before sending to the publish hub, you should ensure all is correct. That final version of all chapters saved under an appropriate name, names of main authors and co-authors with complete postal addresses, final version of each image file, a full table of contents and any primary material like dedication, acknowledgements, contributors, list of abbreviations, complete set of permission grants labeled clearly. Yeah, we can say abstract and keywords, we have to submit them separately via online portal as well in certain areas. And how we can actually organize and supply your manuscript? There are two main ways of organizing your folders, either by chapter number or type of the material. Just like if I can here show you that if we started from the chapter 1, then in the table of contents, there should we write, if there are the subsections in the chapter, then we should start it like that: 1.1, 1.1.1, or 1.2, 1.2.1. And if there are figures, or there are tables, or there are some illustrations in it, or there is a blogs in the table, we should mention it like that: fig 1.1, 1.2. And in another next chapter number 2, we should write it as 2.1, 2.2, not in the sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4, and on and on. So in each chapter, we should label the figures, we should label the tables, we should label the illustrations with, like, chapter 1, it belongs to the chapter 1 and fig 1. Chapter 2 and the fig 1, 2.1. That's table 2.1 or fig 2.1. Then the production process. Once you have done all these stuffs, when you have submitted your this project, then comes the production process. In production process, there are numerous steps, but it's only now the job of production editors. They have to do it. Now your job is over, up to the proofreading. Once you will receive your manuscript back with the final proofreading, they will assess your manuscript. They will see clearly, they will edit it as per their own criteria. They will copy edit it, they will typeset it. Then proofing and indexing will be done. And then last step, printing and binding. Here I can show you some examples of book proposals for the 3 main publishing hubs: Springer, Wiley, and Elsevier. In all these publishing houses, the main target, which I earlier mentioned, is what is the actual requirement of publishing house for the book, any book that you want to publish with them. If we look at the book proposal for the Springer, These book proposal forms are available on each of these publishing hubs. What you require actually in the book proposal form, what you should be ready with the certain things like your CVs, including a detailed list of your previous publications, tentative table of contents, tentative list of bibliographic references, and some sample chapters as well, or a chapter outline. If you have not written any chapter yet, but what you should do, you should just outline, send them the chapter outline of each chapter, where you will require the tentative book title, subtitle if any, short title, date, your complete description, complete information about the authors or the editors, and the type of work, whether it is a bibliography, biography, collected works, it's a PhD thesis, it's a professional book, it's a reference work, it is a review book, it is a text for undergraduate, it's a text for graduate, it's a monograph, it's a dictionary type. You have to mention a type of the work. Then the originality of a work, whether it's a new or what you can say, there are the chances that you previously collected the materials, collected the papers, collected the books from the publishing hub, then you collected them and summarized into different issues, and you can also publish them as well. Then the area specific relevant disciplines of your book, where your book fits in the more specific areas, whether it belongs to the molecular biology, microbiology, environmental science, genomics, or biotechnology. What is your content level? Whether it's for the lower undergraduate, upper undergraduate, or it's for a graduate one, or it's for the professionals, or it's for the research, or any general. And you should also mention the estimated manuscript delivery date, when you are able to submit your full manuscript once your proposal is accepted. Then they will ask you further regarding the number of pages in the manuscript. This all the tentative, but to somehow it should be within the range. Number of the tables, tentatively illustrations, whether there are any black and white images or there are any color images as well. Besides this, obviously their keywords are there, or if there is any funding agency from you, they will ask you further that, and they will also ask you whether there is any competitive literature available in the market regarding this topic already with the different publishing hubs. If you are publishing with, want to publish it with the Springer, they will ask you whether this title is already in other publishing hubs or in this house, and how it is different from the other one, how it can add, how it can benefit the Springer, Elsevier, or any other publishing house. So same, if you look at the book proposal from the Willy, they will ask you the same questions. Book proposal for the Elsevier, they will ask you the same questions as for the Springer or for the Willy. Now, you can publish books on different themes, whatever in which your respective field is. As I earlier mentioned it, whether you can get the different branches of the science, humanities, and all other areas. If you want to publish the book into the research methods, yes, you can. You can publish it books on the research methodologies as well, wherever you will include the fundamentals of research. Fundamentals of research, where you will involve meaning and objective of the research. Types of the research problems, the steps involved in the research. You can write your books on literature survey and documentation, methods of surveys, use of libraries, books, journals, e-journals, and documentation techniques, using of different programs, softwares for, or any specific research engine. Data collection, analysis, and hypothesis. You can write books on it. Different types of the data, methods of the collection, data hypothesis, data analysis. You can write books on utilization of the different softwares like SPSS, Graphite, Prism, R software, using of various hypotheses as well. Research ethics and plagiarism as well. You can write a book on that. Impact of research, where you can, because where you can involve this animal experimentation, where the research ethics, you need to follow the research ethics. Plagiarism is a hot topic now. Use of plagiarism detecting softwares. You can write a book on that. Then you can also write a book on technical writing and reporting of the research. How you can actually write your papers, how you can write your monographs, how you can use the online softwares like Mendeley and Note, where you can also utilize write the books on what are the impact factors, what are the indexing, what do you understand by the citation of the journals, how you can write the references, how you can actually draft your manuscripts, or in case that involves the project cost management, cost analysis of the project, cost incurred on the raw materials, procedure, instrumentation, where you can use how much cost is involved in instrumentation, doing certain experiments as well, or any biological testing or biological analysis, how much cost is available there. You can actually write books on funding agencies and research grants, like funding from the DST, DBT, ICT, UGC, ICMR, etc. So you can write books on the research methods. You can write books on your different themes pertaining to your areas, whether you belong to the microbiology, biotechnology, or any other field as well. Thank you.